Hello everybody, welcome to week 2 overview. You officially survived week 1 of virtual learning, so that is awesome. So week 1 was just kind of a get to know you week. Let's talk about the class, let's talk about the syllabus, let's do some fun activities. But week 2 we got to move right into content. So our first unit is actually a novel unit, and we're going to be reading one of the most famous novels of all time, and in my opinion one of the best novels of all time, and that is To Kill a Mockingbird. And so before we start reading the novel, it's always good to gain a little bit of context, to really kind of talk about some of the big ideas before we get into the novel, learn a little bit about the author, things like that. That way when we start reading the novel, we will already kind of have a basis and a groundwork for that novel so that we can kind of discuss. So this week and a little bit into next week, we're going to be doing pre-reading. And so if you know that prefix pre, that just means before. So before we start reading the novel, we're going to do a little bit of groundwork, and we're going to talk about some things that are going to show up in the novel. And so a few essential questions that we'll be dealing with this week. What is identity? To what extent can we determine our own identities? What influence does society have? What are stereotypes? How do they affect how we see ourselves and how others see us? And how does our need to belong influence our identity? How does it lead to the formation of in-groups and out-groups in our society? And so when I'm talking about these in-groups and out-groups, all that means is like who fits in, who belongs, and then who are kind of the outsiders. That's what I'm referring to with in-groups and out-groups. And then learning targets for the unit. So these are really the three main things that you are trying to be able to do by the end of this unit. These are the things you're going to be tested on at the end of this unit. So if you can think about these learning targets and say, I know how to do all of those things, then you will be A-okay on the test. So first one, I can determine a theme of a text and analyze how it emerges and is shaped by specific details. So you can really pull out different themes in the novel. You can talk about how those themes emerged, how they came to be, what details support that theme. So when you're thinking about theme, I'm sure you've talked about that in middle school, and we'll talk about it more here, but really what you're trying to decide is what's the author's message? What are they wanting me to take away from this text? What lesson, what message are they trying to get out? And usually there are multiple themes, especially in a novel as large as To Kill a Mockingbird. There's going to be multiple themes occurring. The second learning target, I can cite textual evidence to support analysis of what the text says explicitly, as well as inferences drawn from the text. So this piece, textual evidence, what that means is you are pulling out information, usually in the form of a direct quote from the text, from the book, to support whatever it is you're saying. So I will go ahead and tell you your test at the end of the unit is going to be an essay. And so you are going to have to write about theme, and you're going to have to support your theme with textual evidence. So what in the book happened that led you to that theme? And then number 3, I can determine the meaning of words and phrases as they're used in the text, including figurative and connotative meanings. So you will come across words and phrases that you probably don't know. We will work on developing your vocabulary. We will work on specifically figurative language and how that's used in the text. All right, let's exit off of this for a minute. And so that's kind of a little bit of an introduction to the unit, but specifically for this week, this is your checklist of assignments you are going to be doing. And so each one of these in quotation marks, Two Names, Two Worlds, Rainbow Creation, Finding One's Voice, those are all texts that you're going to read. And so remember, this is pre-reading week, so this is before we start reading the novel. We're going to read some other texts, we're going to think about some complex issues, and we're going to discuss. So I've broken it down by day. If you are working online at home completely, feel free to work ahead. I would suggest at least staying with this schedule because you don't want to get behind, but if you can work ahead, that's great. If you are coming into school, maybe don't work ahead as much because, for example, if you come to school on Thursday and Friday and you've already got all your work done by Wednesday, you're not going to have anything to do on Thursday and Friday. And that's just going to be horrible for everybody. If you come to school on Monday and Tuesday, feel free to work ahead Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But if you come in on Thursday and Friday, you don't really want to get too far ahead, or you're just not going to have anything to do. But yeah, so Monday, watch this video. You're going to complete all the activities for 2 Names, 2 Worlds, which I'll show you in the next video. Tuesday, rainbow creation activities. Wednesday, finding one's voice activities. Thursday, stories we tell ourselves activities. Friday, you've got another video to watch on stereotypes, and then you will complete the walking boy activities. So again, To Kill a Mockingbird is a great, great novel, and it deals with things such as racism, prejudice, stereotypes, sexism, all different kinds of things. And so that's why we're reading these texts, to really kind of give us a basic knowledge, kind of a starting point to really dig deeper into these issues. And so we'll talk about these, we'll read these, and then sometime next week we will start with actually reading the novel. Alright, so I think that's all that I have for this video. So thanks for watching. I will post a video for each assignment as well, going into more detail about what you're supposed to do, because again, I know online learning is hard. But this is kind of a general overview of week 2. As always, email me if you have any questions, and I will help you as best as I can.